from East India to East Germany?
was like Munich.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I realized that, oh wow, Germany is really quite different, that thing. And I also kind of like, actually it was in the hotel room itself that I kind of like the kind of research that like, what if I do a master's here? And I realized it's kind of free over here. I'm not free, but like really cheap here. Why do I have to go to the US or the UK for this thing? What? And that's when I realized, you know what? This is it.
Yeah.
I made a motive.
All the way from East India to East Germany. How are you today?
So far so good. Thanks for having me here.
Yeah.
You know?
Why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh yeah. Hey guys. My name is Borneel. I'm a master's student in Germany. I was a master's student in Germany. I just recently graduated.
Yay!
Yay! All right. And I come from India. To be specific, I come from the state of like Assam in the northeast part of India. I came here like in in the winter semester of 2021 just for pursuing my master's here in the Technical University of Chemnitz here.
The best.
Yeah, the best. Yeah, right. I've been here ever since then. I've been working here, and I've also been used to study. And life is good over here right now. So that's all about me.
Yeah, thanks for coming. And we were really excited when you said yes.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, I was excited. I was pretty much excited too. You know, because come on, man. I haven't really done any like podcasts or anything like in my life before. So this is kind of like my first experience. So let's see. Let's see what you can dig up from me. I'll try to be careful not to land us in jail.
No, we will just have fun.
Alright, okay, cool.
So maybe can you tell us about your upbringing in India, in Duliajan?
Oh yeah.
Am I saying it right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's really correct. And that's actually how I pronounce it as well.
Oh.
You're right. Mm-hmm. So I was actually born and raised in this small like town called Duliajan, which is actually in the far northeast part of India. If you compare it with the rest of India, it's actually quite underdeveloped, I would say, like, let's be honest. And because, I totally understand it's in the border region with China and Myanmar out there. So the town, it's not a big town.
But it's oil town.
You did your research.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a big town, but it has like a population of, I don't know, maybe 2 million or something.
Really? But the official websites say that you have...
Could be less, I guess, right?
30,
I'm actually just throwing numbers. Okay, 30,000?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, man. It should be more
more
than that. Come on, man. Yeah, okay. Yeah, and Duliajan is actually known for, we have this company called All India Limited. So in India, we have certain like public sector companies which are kind of like undertakings by the government and private entities. So there's a company called All India Limited. Mm-hmm. And apparently like this huge company, they also have like, township, a bunch of like colony for its employees out there. Mm-hmm. So both my parents were like engineers over there. They used to work like digging oil from this thing and everything. And yeah, that's when I was also like born and raised there. I did my high school, like my primary school, kindergarten and high school, everything I did over there. Until 2017, that's when I graduated and I went to like this city called Bhubaneswar to pursue my bachelor's in computer science. Mm-hmm. And after that, the rest is history. After that, I'm here,
So let's talk about that. But maybe can you...
About Duliajan, right?
But actually, when I did my research, I found out that it's the Oil Limited, you said?
All India Limited, the company. Right?
Oil India Limited is the second largest oil company in the world. Yes, after US oil company.
Really? Okay. Could be.
Yeah.
Really?
It's a pretty rich town.
Then I was actually, a pretty rich town for real. Okay. Yeah, I think so. Like growing up, all the friends and families, people that I've seen around me, we kind of had like a very like good life, like how to say, like childhood, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, like everything, also has its own good and the bad side as well, right? So it was not all like good all the way, but
we all get it.
Second biggest oil company, really.
So how did you end up in Chemnitz. Like, what
Oh boy.
inspired you to pursue your master's thesis in East Germany, in Chemnitz? In Chemnitz! Did you know about the existence of Chemnitz?
Let's be real. I had no idea. Okay. I mean, first of all, like, okay, before going that, I need to actually like start with like why Germany. Okay. Trust me, when I was doing my bachelor's, okay, I think it was in 2019, I actually came here on a vacation with my parents.
To Chemnitz or to
No,
Germany?
to Europe. Sorry, to
alright.
Europe, and you know, it was like, you know, like sometimes you might have seen all those like I don't know, those like old people, you know, like they get up together, I had booked this tour bus and they go across Europe, right? So it was kind of like I think it was like 11 days, whole of Europe. Like is that okay? Oh, I said I hope that's fine, right?
It's okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was kind of like in that thing. I mean, what I realized in that trip was that, come on, I find these people so fucking annoying. Okay, and then I'm thinking, oh my god, like the Europe is such a great place. And then at the end of the trip was like Munich, and that's when I realized that, oh wow, Germany is really quite different, that thing. And I also kind of like, actually it was in the hotel room itself that I kind of like the kind of research that like, what if I do a master's here? And I realized it's kind of free over here. I mean, not free, but like really cheap here. Why do I have to go to the US or the UK for this thing? No, what? And that's when I realized, you know what? This is it.
Yeah.
I made a motive. Of course, my first goal because I was in Munich, I was like, I want to study in TU Munich. And that was when I was in my 3rd or 5th semester of my bachelor's. And my goal was to get into TU Munich, or at least the RWTS Aachen, you know, the top, they're like premier universities in here. And by the time I reached to my final year of my bachelor's, I realized I don't have the grades for that. So I kind of like applied to like certain like companies, you know, not companies, sorry, like universities all across Germany. And apparently like TU Chemnitz was one of them. I actually had no idea about TU Chemnitz, but I did have like a very long like relative of mine who was actually studying here back then. She was like, yeah, you know, you can give it a try. I'm here, so okay, cool. Then I came here and I realized she's back somewhere else. You know? So like, cool.
She got out of the city.
Yeah, I did have like a lot of other options as well, like FAU in Erlangen, you know, that is a good university and stuff. But you know, it was kind of like a COVID time, right? And the embassy was kind of like really like, you know, like a little bit like restrictive. They were like, only if you have like a real like complete complete acceptance letter. You know, not like a conditional acceptance letter, but real. But since I haven't graduated, you know, when I was applying, I didn't really have the bachelor's degree, so I couldn't really go there. So, you know, I mean, I was sent back from the embassy and I applied with the new, I don't know, like the acceptance letter, and turns out, yeah, Chemnitz is cool. But another motivation that sent me here was that, I mean, Chemnitz is so cheap to be here.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I think it's a really good for students, especially, you know,
exactly.
when you're
It's so affordable.
it's affordable. Plus, the university is actually pretty good. Actually, after it's a technical university, so.
So to Chemnitz, you can call us
Yeah.
for advertisement.
Yeah, if you need any admission help, you can just contact me. You know, right?
So I want to mention that your accent.
Okay.
It's so freaking good.
Oh,
And
thank you.
it's just like, it shows that how much hard work maybe you did on that.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So are there any misconceptions about your ethnicity? Was there in Germany especially? And when they like heard you speaking, they were like, whoa.
Actually, it's a good question because, you know, like even my own countrymen sometimes gets confused and ask me the same question about it. To be precise, no, I mean, like, I didn't really like practice or do anything like this. I mean, when I learned, I mean, in India, like, I went to like a English medium school, so it was I went to kind of like a private school, you know, Duliajan, right? Okay, so in there, like, we were like, since like kindergarten time, we all spoke English and stuff, and special emphasis was always given on the English language and stuff, followed by the other languages and stuff. Yeah, people have their own accent, own things and stuff, but in my case, I used to love watching, like, you know, like Hollywood movies, especially Friends and stuff, and I actually watched. A lot of people don't know it, but I actually watched Friends since I was in my 6th grade or 7th grade, you know. And when you start early, okay, I don't know. It just gets absorbed into you as a kid. Whoever you listen. So my parents, they were mostly like, no, they were mostly busy. They were like, they used to work a lot, So, and I totally understand. I'm grateful for that. And I'm like the only child of the house, so I don't have any like siblings or any brothers or sisters. So I used to watch a lot of these like series and stuff, and I love learning things by observing, and that's how I actually kind of like got acquired the accent, or I don't know, like whatever you say from that. And yes, when I went to for my bachelor studies or for my master study, everywhere I see people and they hear me talk, the first question that comes to their mind is that, where are you from? Like, which country are you from? I'm like, are you kidding me, bro? What are you talking about? Because in India, like people also look kind of different. Based on where they're from, and I come from like the northeast part of India, so we kind of look a little bit like a little bit Asian, like not like million Indian. So they also kind of assume that like it's kind of like we don't know, like where are you from, I said like this thing, and then say, oh really, okay. And those are like the optimistic people, who are kind of like very like supportive, like this. And I'm really grateful for that. There are also like some people who are like, come on, stop with the fake accent, bro. I totally understand that, because there are some people who, kind of take it too far. But I mean, like, come on, everyone tries the best.
But did it help you, like, along your professional career that you are trying?
I think I would say, yeah, it did, because how to say? Okay, in India, like. After like at the final year of your bachelor's, okay, if you're studying engineering or anything, there's like a lot of companies that actually comes to your university to hire students. I don't know about now because economy, but I think back in those days, we call it like placement seat. Like the final semester, you would be having a lot of interviews, like giving entrance exam, and one of the main criteria, the non-technical skills that they ask is English, because apparently, like India has like huge IT sector, especially in the service sectors. We have big companies which like McKinsey, Infosys, Deloitte, Accenture, where they expect like employees to interact a lot with their American clients or European clients, and so English is a very important thing out there. So for those interviews and stuff, it did really help a lot, because it kind of gives you a leverage, especially when you're not that good with technical stuff, or like, come on, like you cannot really code all the time, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you cannot do it, but if you explain what you want to do with the thing, like it's kind of like a secret weapon.
It gives you more confidence.
It gives you confidence, and it breaks your interviewer's confidence. Trust me. Yeah.
So that's a good life hack.
Yeah, I mean, just be yourself. That's really what matters. Yeah.
So let's go back to you moving abroad. What were your first initial maybe impressions of Germany?
Oh yeah.
And when you first arrived. And,
and what now?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that would be
interesting. I think the first impression that I had about Germany was that like people are really punctual here, which is kind of true. People are really nice to each other. They're really like hardworking, and like trains are on time. Okay.
On time.
Yeah, on time. Yeah, trains on time, and you have a very like amazing like how to say like living condition, the weather, everything like food, everything okay. And like my main motivation for coming to Germany was that like I saw that like because India IT industry in India is actually kind of like it's kind of pretty old and it's very competitive right now. Because the whole world puts their service sector dump it on Indian thing, and I realized that in Germany the IT sector has not been that competitive or that advanced, at least when I came here during that time, during COVID time. I thought that maybe it's and obviously Germany is a fastest growing. I mean, it is a huge economy and it was growing rapidly. Like it was expanding, and I realized that maybe like I can take like I can be a part of this. This huge like FDI coming to Germany, especially for the IT thing. I could take chance. And moreover, there were like lesser competition as compared to India. So I was like, cool. That was my main motivation to come for like the IT. So
Yeah.
but then I realized now, okay, like after the COVID is like, I don't know, 3 years old now, right? 3 years ago. I realized one thing over here is that like the IT sector over here could have been much better if I think the people were more adaptive to change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For example, I have actually like, when I was interviewing for a lot of companies, there were like a lot of companies where when they wouldn't really like to take your suggestion, where I would be like, hey, I want to like, implement this is a new technology in the market. So they're like, no, we don't want to use this right now because, like we have an old system. We would like to keep it this way.
Yeah.
So, this reluctance to change, I think that's something that's really keeping, the German IT sector, or in fact in like people in general, this sense of mediocrity,
Yeah.
like the comfort zone.
Yeah.
So that's something that I've observed amongst the Germans.
Yeah, actually, maybe it's worth to mention that in general, digitalization in Germany
it's pretty slow.
problematic.
I mean, come on, people still use fax here. So just in case you don't know, okay, people still use fax here. We still get letters in our letterboxes. We have letterboxes, for God's sake. Yeah. So this sense of mediocrity, and I think it's not just for like adapting IT sector. I think in people in general over here, I realized that once they make friends, like it's kind of like friends forever. Okay, because they kind of, I think like making new friends is something like a very hard task for the Germans. I think.
Yeah.
They like to stick to their comfort zone all the time.
So yeah, that's what I wanted to.
You want to face that too, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Maybe it was one of the strangest things for me because we in Central Asia and generally in Asia, in the East part, we are more friendly, we are more easygoing, like open, like let's communicate, let's hang out. But here it's.
I don't know. I think it is probably like due to the like historic factors or something.
Maybe.
Maybe like I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this. Like post World War, Germany went through a lot of hardship.
Yeah, sure.
Probably things changed a lot. Like East part was under the communists.
So what are the other strangest things that you noticed? Like maybe that differs from India and.
Yeah, like the outgoing factor. Like we're pretty much outgoing back in India. We were like, if you want to party something, like we're in. Come on, let's go. Hello, let's go. Yeah, I'm not being racist, okay? Yeah, but over here it's like I mean, you have to make appointment for almost everything. Like friends making appointment with friends, like come on. Like this spontaneity that I really miss a lot.
It's not only friends; it's even girlfriends and boyfriends.
Yeah, right, yeah. I mean, like I miss the spontaneity a lot.
Yeah.
And even if you try to be spontaneous, like hey, I'm already outside, come on, if you just try to drag them from their house. People might get offended. Okay, not like everyone, but there's a high chance they might get offended. That also kind of scares me as well. I miss the spontaneity. I mean, like, if, for example, if you're like in the middle of a party, like a house party or something like that, sometime your friends, they're like, okay, it's 11. I think I should go home. It's my time to sleep. And they talk with this in accent. I need to go I have work tomorrow. Yeah. And that's something. But the good part that I've seen over here is that like people are really active when it comes to like physical health.
Yeah.
There was a time when I would like literally go out like Sunday hikes. Almost every Sunday was a hiking day. And I don't think that's actually possible in India because first of all, the weather is kind of scary there. If you go to the forest all by yourself. Okay. And secondly, it's also like it's pretty hot and people are like, come on, it's. I understand people are lazy to do those things. Yeah. So yeah, this is something that I really like. They take care of the physical health. Something that I don't like, spontaneity. I miss that a lot.
Were there any funny stories that you faced here?
Funny stories? You mean like amongst our friend circle or like in general?
In general, in friend circle, that
things in general. Funny. It's very hard because I don't know. I think the German sense of humor is.
Maybe awkward situations.
Awkward situation. Oh, okay, right, yeah. I had a lot of awkward. I used to go to like church. I'm not like that religious. I'm actually very liberal. Like, and for me, like, religion doesn't really matter. But I actually go. I once went to churches, just to like see around things, how it feels like and everything. And apparently over here, sometimes in the churches, you would sometimes have like church groups, and in the church. Okay, so they were like I don't know, like after they had this like events, right? So the events, people would be like like they would meet up, talk, right? So I kind of once met like a bunch of people over there. They were really kind enough to like accept me and I think it was just it was actually a summer. I think maybe last year summer. We were outside. When you meet, you tend to have like very productive communications, right? Where like, yeah, how's it going? How's your family? Like you get to know each other. You invite each other. We sat down on a table right in front of a church, like a random public space. Okay, they were all like pretty like young people. Okay, I mean, like us, like it's really good. And they were really nice and everything. The first question one guy asked, so, what's your view on Jesus? I was like, good question. And
actually, I got asked this question also.
Yeah. And they were not like, it's not like they were like some missionary or something like that. They're just like random people, What do you think about Jesus? How do you think? I'm like, I think it's great. He got like long hair. Looks good. But yeah, and everyone was like pretty much awkward. I was like, was I supposed to say this? What's wrong? So yeah, that's like one.
Oh my god!
I don't know if am I supposed to say this? Is it like? I hope it's okay, right?
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like oh, how do you say this? Yeah.
Oh, I'm dying. So yeah, what are the skills or habits that you
acquire over here?
Developed in Germany that really help you professionally and personally too?
I think like for any people who like, especially for like people willing to like want to pursue like master's degree here in Germany, or maybe want to like work later in Germany, I think it's really important that you learn German over here. Because you can also say that like, yeah, they should learn English. I mean, sorry, but you're in their country.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, it also makes a lot of things like comfortable and easier, and I think like learning language is something that how to say, I have kind of acquired, because I used to hate learning languages. Okay, I was like, oh my god, it took me like almost 10 or 12 years to learn English, damn it. And in India we have a lot of other languages too. We have like Hindi. I mean, my native language is Assamese, because I come from the state of Assam, Assamese, and then Hindi, which is spoken by a lot of people across India. Hindi, and then like English. And out of these, I would say the most comfortable that I'm in is obviously my native language, and then English, and then comes Hindi. People still make fun of my Hindi, And I was like, come on, I'm not gonna change. I'm not gonna learn it. Damn it, I'm done. Because it's so like, I used to be like that. But then I came here. I was also kind of like that at one point. I was like, oh my god, I have to learn German all the way from the beginning. Like my first class here in German was like A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D in German. Like, come on, it's like kindergarten. But then later I realized that like, no, the circumstances kind of put you in there. Especially if you're living in a smaller city like Chemnitz, for example. You have no choice. You cannot really escape from this thing. So yeah, but now like as you kept learning, you realize that you set to develop your own pattern, your own like thing.
Yeah.
Once you have that, then it gets easier. But of course, German is a very difficult language. I wouldn't say that it's like I'm the best in there. No, hell no.
Yeah, maybe it's important to mention that like we as internationals here, as foreigners, we don't speak only one language.
Oh, we don't speak
and
one
we
language.
Speak more than 2-3 languages, and it's kind of maybe complicated, and it takes more time for us to adapt to German, and maybe sometimes it's a bit harsh from the society here that they expect you to like be fluent, be so communicative in German, and come on,
come on, man. Just we are kind of like here we are trying, but
we are
you
trying.
Just gotta be a little chill,
Yeah, maybe more empathy.
Yeah, I mean, if I have to go through your fundamental, I can be like, hey, come on, why using facts, huh?
Especially when I was talking to one of my Indian friends, he was also saying like, hey, we in India alone speak so many languages. It's so wide. It's so
language was never. Yeah, I mean, we have so many languages. Language was never a factor.
Yeah.
In like when you apply for like job or anything, language was never a factor. Come on, we don't care what you speak or something as long as you get the thing done.
And also it doesn't define your skills.
It doesn't define your skill.
In your professional life. So.
Yeah, but if you apply to like jobs over here, what I've realized is that like they expect you to have like Deutsch C1, like C1 level of German, which is like it's like almost like natives, level of German, C2 level of German. I think I don't know. Maybe I find this thing a little bit like racist, I would say. You know what? I don't know. Maybe it's just my observation. Maybe it may be wrong, different for other people. But what I observe is that like companies, especially when you're applying, for like full-time jobs and stuff, even in IT as well, the company portrays themselves as like, hey, we are like very international. Like we have an international group of people. And then when you look at the job requirements, they want to have like C2 level of German, like C2 level of German. My English is not even C2. Damn it.
Yeah, but it depends on companies. There are also like really kind.
Some companies are really great.
Some of them they really they say okay, as long as you can express yourself and your job. And,
as long as you're perfect, you have the skills. That's really important.
That's really important. Yeah. What are the biggest lessons you have learned moving abroad? What were the challenges and?
I think independence. Independence and freedom. I would say. Freedom to one point, but at one point you just start missing home as well. Sometimes you do miss home a lot as well. Independence is because when I was in India, I actually came here directly after my graduation. I haven't really graduated when I came here. During your bachelor's, the students, we usually tend to stay in our own dorms. The university has their own dorms, and it's always segregated, like boys and men. Boys and girls, boys and men. The food part, okay? When we pay for our dorms, we also pay for the food. So basically they have their own catering. Oh yes, our dormitories have their own catering services.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So people do not have to cook by themselves. Instead, when it's dinner time, lunchtime, you just go down there, you eat. It's trashy food, okay? It's actually everywhere, all across the country. We call them hostels. We call the dorms hostel, and we call the food part mess, food mess, okay? So and usually it's very infamous for the food all across the country, and because we used to get food there, so we didn't really know how to cook. I never learned how to cook, okay? And people in India, they actually get to cook by themselves once they actually are done with their bachelors and are actually starting their full-time job. It's when they are forced to cook. And moreover, these days, people tend to order food. Okay, we have a lot of Uber Eats and stuff all across thing and deliveries. And nowadays we have certain facilities in India, certain apps where you can actually deliver food within 10 minutes. It's the benchmark, 10 minutes and the food's there. How will anyone learn to cook? Okay. Then I came here. I was like, oh my God, if you want to deliver, get your food delivered over here, super expensive. Okay. You have to pay €5 or €6 or tips and stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to fucking cook right now. Okay. First time I cooked rice. Okay. Rice was, I don't know, it was not even rice. It was a half cooked rice. Okay, and we would have we have linsen soup, linsen soup. It was half cooked. It was the color was mostly the spices that I put. It was just spice water. But then with time you tend to learn, and I met a lot of friends from abroad, and they also taught me how to cook their food and stuff. And that's how I actually started learning and cooking. Okay, taking care of your dormitories. You have to clean yourself. Can you believe in our dorms back in India when we were students, okay, we would have cleaning ladies coming to our rooms and cleaning the floor, okay. Here you're on your own, Okay, you had to pay the bills on your own. Rent. Oh my God, paying rent. Okay, that's the first experience that I got over here. Because in India, like, but I mean, I was in my dormitory, so obviously it was covered by my parents, you know, and they would pay. We didn't even like know. And over here, when you realize that like the money is going out from your pocket, I'm like, what am I doing? And financial, how to say, freedom, not financial freedom. Yeah, like taking care of your own finances. That's something that I learned. I used to spend like crazy in India. Okay, I was you know those like spoiled kids, right? That was me. I was the only child, so I was a spoiled kid. And I came here, I'm like, oh my God. If I keep that thing, I think in next 6 months I'll be begging on the street. So I don't want to do that. So that's what I learned here. You know?
Yeah, so it's
it's actually, I think I highly recommend people, you know, like if you really want to like, you know, be, how to say, learn to be like strong enough for, you know, like your future, like for your future self. I think it's great. I highly suggest that you move abroad, learn a new language, learn a new culture, and meet new people all over the world. Okay, face hardship yourself, just push yourself. That's something that I really think, you know, like you should go for, you know.
Yeah, it will really help you to shape your identity, the strong confidence.
Trust me, I think, you know, like as international students or international expats, I think we are far more, how to say, mentally and also mentally like stronger than the people back home. I believe we are special.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We are special.
Okay, I'm not being narcissistic, but yeah.
How will it go further for you? What are your goals and plans for near future?
Yeah.
Now that India is becoming one of the strongest economies in the world.
Yeah, I mean,
don't you want to go back, or you want to stay in Germany?
I mean, it's a cutthroat competition everywhere. So yeah, like with economic growth, okay, like I mean, it's good for the country. But then, you know, if you want to like survive in that like fast-paced, like strong economy, you also need to be like really, really like strong, and also you should be like the best of everyone. You know, the best of the best. And right now, like I'm actually like in a few weeks, I'm actually moving to Frankfurt because I kind of have like a job over there. Right. For now, I'm actually like trying to gain as many like skills as possible because this will perhaps be my, perhaps be the time of my learning right now. I'm actually like 25 right now, and I don't think like I'm like very like super good at whatever I'm doing right now. So for now, my main goal is to like learn your things, and especially, you know, when I actually work in the IT sector. And you know, like IT sector is changing rapidly. Almost every single day, you have a new product in the market. You have AI taking over, layoffs happening and stuff. And I think it's a very new world that we are in right now in 2025. So you have to learn and be the best. And I'm also on the side, on my side, I'm also kind of like working on a startup back home right now. So it's actually in the IT sector itself, so a startup thing. So currently, as I'm like doing my job on the side, I'm also kind of like, you know, building that thing up. I'm also trying to do like market research and stuff as well.
That's
so great. Yeah, so that in the future, because you actually never know, especially with this volatility in the market, you don't really know when things come to an end. And for us internationally, it's especially more difficult because, you know, like if we are not working here, you have to find a job or you just get out of here.
Yeah.
It's very stressful, especially for. So these are some of the things that you also need to know when you're an expat. You know, this is not your home country.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the startup. It's kind of like a backup thing right now that I have. And in fact, I'm already like working on this product. It's under progress, under development. And so that's the future. For now, I mean, it's not a long-term goal. It's more of I see is more like a 5-year plan, you know. Next 5 years, stay here, work, learn, you know, grow yourself personally and also like technically, skills-wise.
Yeah. Maybe, you know, like moving abroad actually makes you more flexible and open to opportunities. You know, and it really kind of shapes you stronger.
I should also forgot to tell you, it also makes you more open-minded.
Yeah,
you know, like it makes you more acceptable to changes, and it almost kills your comfort zone. I mean, right now, if I'm like, I mean, it has like staying abroad had made my personality in such a way that like I think our personality in such a way that like if you feel like, oh man, I'm in my comfort zone, you're like, what am I doing? I'm doing something wrong. Come on, this shouldn't be done. You know, this it kind of gets into you, you know, like being abroad.
Yeah. So what's the one piece of advice that you would give to anyone trying to move abroad? Maybe for Indians, for small towns that they're not confident enough to move, to explore.
I think you know like maybe you know like be confident. Okay. Trust me, like a lot of people, especially I'm talking in the Indian point of view. Okay, over here, we see that like in India, like when people want to like move. I mean, nowadays like a lot of people are moving abroad, but still there are a lot of people who are like, oh, what if I move abroad? I mean, who's gonna take care of my parents? You know, like we have so many things, friends here. I'm gonna miss them, everything like that. And yeah, sometimes you know, like it also happened with me. Our parents, you know, they would also be like gaslighting you into like, hey, staying here. What are you doing? What are you doing? This and everything like that. You shouldn't go. You won't come back. Blah blah blah. I think just you know like get confident. Okay, just try to put those gaslighting away. I think the main piece of advice that I wanna give to people, like especially to Indians who actually want to move abroad. Despite right now a lot of people are moving abroad because of you know like new opportunities and stuff, if you're a small towner or something, just you know like get that confidence. Okay, try to you know like it's never like a bad decision, you know, if you want to move abroad and learn a new culture, you know like gain more expertise outside, because if you want to like you know stay in your own like you know comfort group, you know, in a state of mediocrity, and trust me, this is something that I've seen in the Indian culture a lot. We tend to become so mediocre. Our society is really mediocre, and if you like want to like stay in mediocrity forever, trust me, like this is not life. I mean, like it can be life for some people, you know, you just want to play safe in you, but come on, I mean, you will be missing out on a lot of new stuff, like good stuff. And so I think, you know, just be confident, be curious, you know, be hungry for knowledge, you know. And I think that's the only piece of advice that I can actually tell you. And always remember, you know, like if something goes wrong to you, okay, you should also be like, you know, taking care of it. If something goes wrong, remember, you always have a place to come back home. Okay, your home will never be aware like nothing else or something. You can always come back home, you know, just... take the risk. Take the risk only if you think you can. Okay, just you know, without putting anything under compromise. Yeah, that's the piece of advice.
So I would add onto it that it's your life and you have to take control over it, and you are responsible for making it interesting journey. So I thank you. It was amazing.
Hey, you know what?
I had so much fun and so many insights.
It was actually really good, you know. Like, I mean, come on, we have actually known each other for I don't know, like 3 years, right?
Yeah.
And you know, like I think this is like a very great initiative that you have like taken up recently. You know, like I remember. I mean, just like a piece of advice to like people watching this. She like used to be like really cool, you know. She's like a huge party girl. Okay, so in case if you wanna like you know, and she travels a lot. All right, there. Okay, so if you wanna like you know like know about like how to travel in like in a good way, you can definitely subscribe to her. Very wonderful.
Subscribe to our channel, please. Yeah, I really had fun, and we will be moving on to the next part, where we will challenge your knowledge.
Alrighty, okay.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, so stay tuned.